All right, welcome to my FX Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there are multiple mediums on which you can enjoy this content. But the best way, in my opinion, and the way that I recommend always, is that you go to the blog. And the blog is at myfxbuddies.blogspot.com. But to get to this exact page, the best thing to do is wherever you are interacting with this content, look for a prompt of more info, intro, description, something of that nature. You tap on that or whatever, and you'll either see link to my FX Buddies blog, or you'll see the link. It'll, the HTTPS blah, 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 right? You click on that and you're here at the blog, the free blog. And you don't have to put your email address in, and I don't sell anything. All right, so today is Saturday. It was a lovely day. I hope you had a great day. Man, I tell you, California is, look, can you see this? Air quality alert. But it's nighttime. It's 10:07. So what's up with that? Oops. But anyway, the day started kind of like gloomy and cloudy, which I don't like. And then the sun came out, and then it was beautiful. It was just nice. But it's just so jacked up. Like, I'm hearing, I think the national average for gas is $2.80 or something like that. You know how much they're paying? Look, I said they're paying because I don't have a car. I don't have a car right now, so in some places in California, gas is $6 a gallon. And that's because the taxes, there's gas taxes, so even if it goes down, it doesn't really, because of all the taxes. Crazy. But anyway, so I always tell people, if you're going to come here, make sure you pay attention to how expensive everything is. Matter of fact, there's a lady on YouTube talking about she moved back to California from Texas because of the weather and something else. There was something else too, but anyway, that's not what you're here for. My point is, I hope you had a great day. All right. So we got, here's the, no change in the exchange rate. And then I know Frank said something, and I'm going to show you why it's really not that exciting what he said. Okay? I know. There's Tish again. What she knows. She ain't in Baghdad. That's all right. I'll show you. Just bear with me. But first, let's go. So this is, it is what it is. And it is live, or not live, current Saturday. This Saturday, it's Mohammed Saleh. And we know he has to toe the party line, as they say, right? He's a government employee, has been for a long, long time. He's the financial advisor to, here they call him the Prime Minister. But that's his title, financial advisor to the Prime Minister. So whoever the Prime Minister is, that is the financial advisor. Anyway, so, yeah, but the title that I put up here is much more interesting. You see that? Iraq must end multiple exchange rates. They won't hold if oil prices crash. So that's another article we'll get down to at the bottom. But I know we're tired of seeing this no change in exchange rate, especially if you listen to Frank and he's saying the total opposite, right? But that's why I like articles. I like things I can read, and this is what is in the news. This is what they're showing to their people, all right? And we've heard this. I think he said the same thing on Wednesday or Thursday, right? The only thing that's new, see this color noise? Remember that? And I said, I think that's supposed to be white noise. So he says, what happened in the parallel exchange market during the past few days is nothing more than an emergency and temporary fluctuation resulting from inaccurate information and blah, blah, blah. And they're in a transitional period, which will usually increase price movements. The parallel with the implementation of the customs governance system. So what is that? That's ISCUDA, and I'm going to show you that too. All right. So, and it's digital procedures in accordance with international standards, including customs, tracking systems, and modern digital applications that enhance transparency and discipline in the commercial and financial environment. Oh, together. I learned a fancy word today. Oh, you guys left some really great comments. It was, I wrote it down. Conterminous. So yeah, conterminous right here. I think I could use that. That enhanced transparency and discipline in the commercial and finance environment. Nah, I don't think that's the right place to use it. But anyway, yeah, so he used it, and I had to go look it up to see what it meant. And I do intend to use it in a sentence properly sometime this week. All right, so here they're talking about they have goals in stabilizing prices in general and maintaining the stability of the official exchange rate in particular. All right, so then he again says, oh no, this is that other thing. This is that growth rate, the 2.5% annually. Okay, because they're also saying that inflation is that low also. All right, so yeah. Now here, this is a report by these people, the Iraq Observatory. Okay, so they have their part. Oh, did I read the title? I don't think I finished it, right? Iraq's budget deficit is nearing 20%, and Sudani's advisor says the economic situation is stable. So, let me hear. That writing is small, huh? There. So on Saturday, the size of the financial deficit in Iraq for the first 9 months of this year, which amounted to 17 trillion and 686 billion dinars. So people who like numbers and stuff, look at that. Look at all these numbers they have here for you to read. All right. Yeah. So here, indicating the Iraqi economy is stable and inflation has declined to 2.5%. So then the rest of this is his article above. So that's why I have them connected, because they pretty much just took the article that I read to you and added it onto their report. So yeah, the fixed exchange rate policy is established policy based on fundamental principles. All right, so you can read that. Okay, now here, so this is the ISCUDA. Actually, they left the Y out, but whatever. They change it in some of these here. See, here it says this. Here it says SKODA, SCODA. But they're saying the exchange rate in Iraq is the first victim of the implementation of this customs audit system. And look at our beautiful $100 bill. I don't know why they have dollars there. Well, I guess because they're talking about the exchange rate of the dollar rose within the parallel market, which economists considered a normal matter in the first stage of implementation. So you have people who are still trying to get around this system, right? But because it's transparent, if they scan you and you have product or goods that aren't in line with what you're supposed to be transporting, or you don't have the right funds, you don't get in, right? So they're trying other things to go around the system. So they're going to the parallel market, and that makes the parallel dollar go up. So there, it has advanced connectivity system. It says it was developed in Europe. Now, this system's been around for a long time. The only reason why, like, I'm just learning about it now is because Iraq is using it, right? If I wasn't reading about Iraq, I wouldn't be reading about this system either. Okay? So, yeah. So, then here they have Mahmoud Dagher. Remember, he used to work for the CBI. So, he's not just a financial and banking expert. He actually used to work for the CBI. And then they've talked about this, how they implemented that new mechanism on December 1st. But it only included 4 things, and other things will be added in the beginning of 2026. And I think by then, the people who are trying to get around the system and causing that's one cause of the parallel market rate to rise, they'll figure it out. Like, okay, they'll, what's the word? Comply. I think they'll comply with the new system. Whether they like it or not, right? Okay, so now this is, well, it's good, but the citizens probably are not going to use it, right? The Ministry of Commerce announces the imminent launch of an application that will allow citizens to complete their transactions via mobile phone. But it's still something they have to opt into. So yes, it's great. It's modernization. Yeah. But they still have to opt in to use it. And some will, right? There's always those people who are so amped to just get into everything trendy and new. Same thing over there, right? Yeah. All right. So Qatar has Doha Forum 2025. They're talking about financial stability, right, for the Gulf nations. But why? The only reason I'm talking about this is Fawad Hussein, the foreign minister, and what's his other title? Yes, he's the deputy prime minister. Yeah, so he's got some power. There he is, and look, he's being bombarded. If this is a real picture, I think it is, but I don't trust anything. Oh my gosh. Anyway, okay. The foreign minister is holding a series of meetings on the sidelines of the Doha Forum. So yeah, and they've been excited about this the Iraqi Dutch, and I've been talking about them for I think a week and a half, right? Because I was saying they usually come, the Dutch and the Netherlands usually come to Iraq together. But now they're at this, I just said it, Doha. They're in Doha at this forum, and I don't see them mentioning the Netherlands. I just see them mentioning Dutch, and they're excited that in February the Dutch Prime Minister is gonna visit Baghdad, maybe. Then he also met with his Spanish counterpart, Jose Manuel Alvarez. So yeah, so see, wherever they go, and then here they talked about this, but I'm not going to mention, Gaza, and I guess it's still safe to say Lebanon. There's a lot going on with Syria. Someone else just took them off the sanctions. Oh, I can't remember. Some other country just took Syria off sanctions. So they're getting fast-tracked. But whatever. Alright, and look at this. Holiday hype. Festive fever takes over Kirkuk streets. Now, would you believe this is Iraq? holiday, oops, the H is gone. Holiday crowds are filling Kirkuk's markets ahead of Christmas and New Year. Now, they really do New Year's big. But yeah, they have Christmas trees and a snowman. Okay. What they know about snowmen? No, I'm just kidding. There are, in Kurdistan, it does snow. Yeah, they get snow in the mountains up there. Let's see. So here you can read this article if you like, but look at that. That looks like a mall. And I don't know if that's a current picture. That might be last year's picture, but if it's not up, it will be. And here's some more images. They're setting up nativity scenes. Candles and soft lighting that add to the city's warm atmosphere. And if you listen to that guy, the interview that I posted in yesterday's episode, what did the young guy, the interviewer, he said, oh, yeah, they're hanging out at night. Oh, they're partying in the streets. Well, last night, because the soccer team won. Oh, I guess they call it the football team. But I'm here in America, so the soccer team won. So they won their second round game. And I do know this time they played Sudan. And they beat Sudan. So, yep. So they're going to the next round, I guess. But yeah, so here's some more pictures if you want to look at that. Alright, this is the one that has the headline. Proposing bold decisions. An economist tells the news. The drop in oil prices threatens Iraq's finances, and multiple exchange rates will not withstand market turmoil. And look how they put money. They put, these are dollars, right? Yeah. And literally, they're $1 bills, but they photoshopped them in. I thought that was hilarious. What time is it? Okay. And then they have some dinars there too. So this person, Adel Al-Dalfi, he's an economic expert. He warned Iraq is approaching a sensitive economic stage in which public finances may be directly affected if oil prices are subjected to a new wave of decline as a result of the return of supplies from producing countries such as Venezuela, Iran, and Russia. So, and I always, well, you guys don't know, but I always talk about how is Saudi Arabia going to keep hold of the production. There's countries now that are outside of OPEC that don't have to follow the OPEC mafia rules, right? And they can produce as much as they want. So, I don't know. And, you know, anyone who has ever studied supply and demand, you know, when there's more supply, there's less demand and prices go down. But anyway, so yeah, so he says that Iraq's dependence on oil for more than 90% of its budget makes the general budget fragile in the face of any external turmoil, stressing that the current policy of multiple exchange rates will not be able to protect the currency or the market against expected global shocks. Well, I want them to get rid of the multiple exchange rates anyway, right? We want them to get rid of it. So then he goes on. He explained that the multiplicity of exchange rates temporarily helped to control the demand for the dollar and secure basic imports. But on the other hand, it led to the growth of the parallel market, distortion of prices, and weakening confidence in the currency, which makes it, in his words, and that's what it says there, in parentheses, for those of you who are just listening. I didn't add that in. It says that in the article. Which makes it, in his words, a transitional path that cannot be relied upon for long. Yes, get rid of those multiple exchange rates and just get one. And yeah. So yeah, I was glad I read that. I wasn't going to. I was going to skip it because it seemed like, you know, just another oil article, but then and there's more. But I'm going to skip this, but I think you should read this part here. If you read any article on this page, you should read this article. And this is, oh, it's right above the, want to support my FX buddies? So yeah, so if you go to the blog, this is green, right? This bar right here is green. It's the article directly above the green bar. All right, so my FX buddies. So I went and I updated the new and hot front of the line crypto coin. You possibly could get 5,733% return on a $30 minimum, right, investment. So if you go to that, you can read this flyer. But I think I have it all, yeah, there. It's all in the screen there. You can read that. All right. All right. So that would actually help both of us. And then here, if you want to get more information on this coin, here's two press releases. And then this is updated. So, like I said in the other video, the wallet information is there now. The white paper, some of the information that people were, well, I want to see this, I want to see that. Well, there you go. Now you can. Or you can go to Buy Me a Coffee. What is it? buymeacoffee.com/tishwash. But this will be a live link when this blog is live. And then Cash App is always, oh, I have to thank TE, my #1 sponsor. And one other. Felicia's Fabulous Jewelry Boutique. I think she could rank as my #2 sponsor. Thank you. I received your gifts today. All right. So yeah, so there that is. Big or small, I appreciate it all. Thank you in advance for your generosity. Okay, oh boy. Okay, so if you didn't see yesterday's episode, why didn't you? That's okay. Just wait till the end of this episode, and a square is gonna pop up, and you just tap that, and it will take you right to yesterday's. But so here's the response. Remember, I talked about how, well, I don't have time to explain it, but let me see, really quick. These two groups here. Bola, and there's 3 letters in front of that, and the Ansar Allah. Yeah, they don't have the real name. The other name that I think I could say, and the little rats that tell on you. The AI, they don't recognize that name, I don't think. But it's not here. But anyway, so I talked about them they were listed as, oh, you know what? I do need to hurry up because we have to talk about that. Here it is. Ansar Allah. That's the real name of the other name that I won't say that starts with an H. Alright. So they were put on a list that would cause their funds to be frozen, right? And Sadani was like, I didn't do that. And see, he ordered an urgent investigation, right? Okay, so there's more to that, but for time's sake, Washington is upset because Baghdad reversed that. Well, they're trying to, because it was put in the Gazette that it was law, so their assets have been frozen, and they've been put on the naughty list. 'Tis the season, right? But so, and then Sadani was like, called the Gazette people, like, hey, I didn't do that. You know, why'd you put that in the Gazette? take it out. And they're like, oh, sorry. The only way we can take something out of the Gazette is if it's amended or something else. But now the CBI is asking them to do it also. So we'll see what happens. So remember I told you, I said, I bet we're happy, and I'm sure we have something to do with it too, right? But yeah, it'll all come out in the wash, as they say, right? But anyway, okay, so that was the update on that. So since we're talking about the Gazette, let me show you this. Oof. This is, it'll switch to English in a minute. This is the Iraqi Gazette. This is the formal, official, when something gets put in here, it's a law. Alright? And the last one that was done was 4850, and this is the one that puts those, I just talked about that, right? So I know that tonight it was discussed that the exchange, let me see. A very detailed instruction on how to do exchanges was put in the Iraqi Gazette, but it was not. The site, and see, it's down now, and I'm just saying that it is down, but probably because I can't get there. I don't know what you see. You don't see this, but the controls to work my recorder is blocking it. But there's a website, IraqNewsGazette.com. That is just a website that someone made. It's actually an American website. It's not the official Iraqi Gazette. Okay, so let's just get that clear. The official Gazette would never post exchange instructions because it's not a law. The official Gazette only posts laws, okay? But I'm not saying that this website did not post it, but who's in charge of the exchange instructions? The CBI, right? Yeah. So why would the CBI put on a site that's an American website something as important as the exchange information? So just think about that. Something to think about. And I do know that it is a working site because it's been around. It's not the first time it caused confusion. But I'm thinking because Frank showed the website and he's got like 50,000 subscribers, so probably all the traffic put the website offline. And but it is, I can't see it, but it's either Iraq Gazette News or something, but it's down anyway. Oh wait, this might show it. There you go. There. Can you see that there? Iraq News Gazette. Right? So there it is. See, they talk about sports. It has a contact, but like I said, it's down right now. Well, let's see. Let's try. Yeah, it's down right now. And I'm guessing, like I said, probably an overload of traffic. All right. So if I wouldn't be excited about that. Now, if it was on the CBI site, and maybe it will be tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Like, here's something. This is on Telegram. Association of Banks. The U.S. Treasury has given the green light for the return of sanctioned banks that are committed to the banking reform plan. Samir al-Nusari. And that's really great, right? But the only place I can find it, and there he is And there it is in Arabic. But it's in Telegram. And they have a website. See this NNC? They actually have a website, but it looks like they haven't updated it since August. So they seem to do all of their postings in Telegram now. So there's really good stuff out that I don't say you should be excited about, but good, okay, 30 minutes, we're at 30 minutes. Okay, so I covered everything I wanted to cover, except this is a good article as well, but you see how long it is, but I know someone will want to go to the blog and read it. Washington Institute, resumption of the Kurdish ITP oil pipeline to America boosts the Iraqi economy, and it connects in the U.S. port of Louisiana. Louisiana, isn't that how they say it? Louisiana is how someone from California might say it. Louisiana. But I think people in Louisiana say it that way. I want to go there. That's one of my first places I'm going to visit, post-RV. Yep. I want some beignets and some chicory. Is that what they call coffee? That's another word they use for coffee, is chicory? Something. And you know why I know that? I used to watch NCIS, the one from New Orleans, Nolans. Yeah. But look at this. The report considered these talks and the ITP line itself to be of great importance to both global energy markets and Washington's geostrategic interests. So yeah. Yep. All right. That's it for now. Thank you for watching. Again, thank you to my number 1 and number 2 sponsors. Thank you for all the great comments that I got. Oh, and yeah, I did get some responses. Some people said they would be all in at $1. But most people that replied said they would get some to breathe and wait for the higher rate later. All right. So you guys are awesome. Thank you. I probably will post tomorrow. Yeah, because tomorrow's Sunday. I'm hoping something good will come out. And yeah, so accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. Give me a like. How about liking Louisiana? How about that? All right. Enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you are indulging in this content. And until tomorrow.